Yo, so how's it going? I want to share with you the steps you need to take in order to level up your drawings and to make them awesome. So the first thing we really need to worry about is the materials. There's really not a lot that you need. You just need a sketchbook, some paper, some pens. I use all different kinds of pens. I use fine liners. I use brush pens sometimes. I use white jelly roll pens, some other Uniball white pens, some thicker white ink pens. I mean, there's a lot of different pens and stuff. I'll list all the materials that I use in the comment section and the description as well. I personally prefer using toned paper because it really simplifies the process, because you can just worry about like 2 values in the dark using black ink and then 2 values in the light using white ink and the tone of the paper. So it's very easy to get the values, and you can create a very strong impact with your drawing by simplifying the values in this way between 2 different pens. So using some kind of toned paper if possible, if you can find any, I would really recommend it. Play around with it, see what you think. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, but I think it's worth a shot to try out. That's really all you need. Also some pencils, an eraser, of course, all those kind of materials for the early stages that we're gonna talk about soon. Now the next thing you're gonna need is usually overlooked by beginners, but it's so important. You need a reference photo or multiple references to choose from. There's a lot of different websites out there. You can use Unsplash, Pixabay, Morguefile. I'll list all those below as well. Those are websites where you can use the photos for free. You can sell your art drawing those photos. I use it all the time for drawing my animal drawings. I really highly recommend using some kind of reference, either mix and matching a few different references or just using one singular reference. Depends on what kind of artist you are, what you're looking to create. Everyone's different. So now that you have your materials and your reference, it's time to get into the drawing process. I would recommend starting out with a pencil sketch of whatever you're gonna draw. So create a pencil sketch very lightly. I usually use like an HB or a B pencil or something like that. If all you have is a number 2 pencil, then that is perfect. No need to worry about any kind of other pencil. Just keep it really light and loose in this pencil sketch. Try to get all the details that you're gonna put in, not super detailed, but if you're drawing like a portrait or an animal, make sure you get the eyes and the mouth, make sure you get everything placed in the right order. Take your time on this. This is the important foundation for your entire drawing. So you really wanna make sure that your pencil sketch is good enough for you to ink over and that you're not gonna get lost in the inking process. So after you spend some time on the drawing and the pencil sketch, now it's time to get into the ink. And I start with like the outline of my subject, and always pay attention to what kind of outline your subject has. If it's like furry animal, like a bunny rabbit or something, the line's not gonna be super solid. Sometimes they'll be hairy and furry, so you wanna put like little dashes, little marks. Make sure you're creating the texture, the expression of this animal. Really understand what you're drawing. Don't just blindly draw a line to outline it. So really pay attention to what it is you're actually drawing. Pay attention to the texture, the feel, and try to convey that within your drawing. And once you got the outline kind of inked down and you got everything in place, the outline and maybe some of the features, some of the stuff on the inside, maybe separating the light from the shadow. Once you have all that kind of detail figured out, now it's time to get into one overall value for all the shadow in your subject. So I try to just do vertical hatching, very simple kind of shading. And I recommend, if you're a beginner, really keep your shading simple. So whether it's like vertical hatching or horizontal hatching or cross hatching, whatever feels natural to you, whatever your personal preference is, go for that. Keep it very simple. We're trying to create a very strong statement, and we just want it to be a simple, strong statement. And if you're unsure about what kind of shading techniques or what to do, how to do shading, I would recommend checking out Skillshare. They're actually the sponsor for today's video. And I just want to say thank you for Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. So if you're unfamiliar with Skillshare, it's an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for those who love learning and wanting to explore their creativity and also learning new skills. I usually use Skillshare to learn more about like animation, graphic design, and photography. I use these skills every day in my day job as a graphic designer. And I've noticed over the years, it's really helped me take my skills to the next level. And one class in particular that's really been helpful for me, and I've gone back to it many times, is Animating with Ease by Jake Bartlett. This guy really knows his stuff, and he made the content like super easy to digest, really broken down into simple bits. It's really helped me with my graphic design, my work projects, my video editing, and also with adding little animations and things to my YouTube videos and make them much better. So the cool thing about Skillshare is that all the videos are ad-free, so you can stay in the zone while exploring new skills. They launch new premium classes each week, and the entire catalog is now available with subtitles with Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. So the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description or my code SchaeferArt will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. I really hope you enjoy yourself. Check out all the classes on Skillshare, and thank you for letting me share that. Let's get back into the tips for creating an awesome drawing. So now that you've figured out some shading techniques and kind of have one overall value shaded in your darks, maybe a little bit of variation in there as well, it's time to get into the light ink. This is what really is going to bring your drawing to life. I always feel like whenever I add the white ink pen, this is when I'm getting serious in the drawing and it really starts coming to life. It's really exciting. This is the exciting part because you're really illuminating your subject with light. So you just want to focus on the super bright highlights, kind of put those in on your subject, figure out the areas that are really super bright on your subject and shade those in with the white ink pen. You know, it's really that simple. There's nothing, don't overthink it. It's not very complicated. So now that we have the white ink down on the page, we have light, we have shadow, it's really time to assess your whole drawing and look at it, see if it needs anything else. Maybe go back to the black ink pen, add in some of the really dark darks within the shadows, really make like 2 values in the shadows, like a reflected light and a really dark shadow. Do the same thing with the white ink pen, kind of make like super bright highlights and then like a little bit of light. Leave some of the tone of the paper showing through as well for midtones. And then you'll have 5 values on your drawing very easily. And at this stage, it's optional if you'd like to add something in the background, maybe some abstract shapes, maybe some color. If you like watercolor or gouache or any kind of paint or even colored pencils, it's all personal preference. If you want to add color to your pen and ink drawing, it'll really make it pop. I've done this in the past with like watercolors, adding a little bit of splashes of color in the background can be really fun and just really brings the rest of your pen and ink drawing to life. You can even add some color on your subject as well, if that's something that you think is possible or that would help enhance your subject, then definitely try it. Take the risk, it's going to be worth it, and experiment, play around and have fun. But just remember, that's optional. You don't have to add any color if you don't want to. You can keep it black and white, and I do that a lot of the time. So now that you've created your whole drawing, I kind of want to wrap up things and give you a few little pointers, things to keep in mind. I really recommend when you're first doing this, your first few attempts, to keep it simple. Really keep it simple, pick a simple subject, keep your shading simple, the light simple, try to simplify as much as you can. It's very easy for us, especially as artists. We like to overcomplicate things, we like to overthink things, we like to add too much detail. We always try to do too much. We think more is gonna make it better, and most of the time, less is more. Less is always more, so keep it simple. And also remember that it's gonna take some practice. This is gonna take a few attempts. When I first started out in pen and ink back in 2019, I did a few drawings in the beginning that I really didn't like. I was trying out all these different materials. I was using gray alcohol markers, all kinds of different things, and I was unhappy with a lot of the first few drawings that I did. It took a few drawings before I found a style or like a method, a process that I really liked, that really resonated with me. To this day, I'm still experimenting and learning all different kinds of things, pushing myself to try new things, like adding color to them, adding thicker outlines with the brush pen, all kinds of different things, abstract backgrounds. I'm still experimenting, even to this day, like 2 to 3 years later. So don't be too hard on yourself, you know, maybe try 10 to 20 drawings and see, kind of assess your drawings and see which ones you like the best and try to take one avenue, go down that path, try to explore that kind of method or process that you used. Really experiment with your materials. And also don't give up. Just keep practicing. I suck too. There's some drawings I do all the time that are terrible. I am not good at every single drawing I do. Nobody is. Sometimes you're gonna suck, you're gonna have a bad day, you're gonna have a crappy drawing, and it's okay. Just turn the page, forget about it, try to learn from your mistakes, but don't give up. Try to draw something else. Maybe it was the subject, maybe it was the lighting, maybe the lighting wasn't good. I found out that most of the time, it's usually the lighting within the subject. Try to pick a subject that has really strong lighting, really nice lighting that will stand out, something that you think will really make an interesting drawing and that will make other people want to look at it and be like, wow, that's really amazing. So please don't give up. Keep trying, just turn the page and start new on a new drawing. And have fun with it, really have fun. Post down below what part of the process is most challenging for you. I'd love to help you in the future with future videos and things. I'd love to hear what is something you struggle with the most. Is it the shading? Is it the proportions? Is it the inking, the outlining? What do you struggle with like pen and ink drawing the most? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope this video helped you. Good luck on your drawings. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.